Assalamu alaikum and welcome to another episode of QG Diaries, a program on Quranology Television QGTV. Today marks day 21 of Ramadan 2015, so we've gone 3 weeks now into Ramadan. So we're looking at maybe another 9 more episodes of Ramadan 2015 before we reconvene our normal series. Today's episode is about Bani Israil. Who are the children of Bani Israil? In traditional Islamic discourse, this is seen as a racial group or an ethnicity or a conglomeration of 12 tribes, and therefore they are not all of us. And this is due to the fact that in the Bible, Yaqub alayhi salam, he's seen as Israil. That's his other name, as it were. And because of that, Bani Israil are his children. I do not see this in Quran. Now, this is not a condemnation of the Bible. The Bible does yield truths for mankind, but I do not feel that it is the best way to interpret the Quran using biblical concepts. Rather, the Quran must stand on its own concepts. Tafsirul Quran bil Quran. I was switched on to the notion that Bani Israil are not a particular ethnicity due to the works of Dr. Kamal Omar, who wrote the article The Ultimate Truth, and also later on the works of Mr. Muhammad Sheikh, who had brilliant lectures on what Al-Quran says about the children of Israel. You can look it up on YouTube. It's a brilliant lecture. So how do we understand who Bani Israil are? Well, the best way is to read Quran itself and understand the context in which Bani Israil is narrated. And that's really the best way, because the context is the most objective form of evidence which we can have. The first time Bani Israil appears is in chapter 2 verse 40. It's a call. Ya Bani Israil, adhkuru ni'mati allati an'amtu alaykum. So Allah is saying to Bani Israil to vivify my bounties, God's bounties. Vivify my bounties, which I have bountified upon you. So this is the first time Bani Israil is mentioned. Now, what comes right before this? The story of Adam. So Adam is, we are told that Adam, he's given the successorship on earth, and he needed to follow certain rules, but he did not, and so he fell. So now Allah is saying to Bani Israil, Ya Bani Israil, vivify my bounties. So in other words, get back into that state of Adam. That's why it comes straight after the story of Adam. And in fact, Allah gives 7 verses which formulate Bani Israil and how Bani Israil can get back into that state. And after that, chapter 2 verse 47 to 103, so 60 odd verses, Allah is saying to Bani Israil, here are your pitfalls and how to get out of those pitfalls. This is not an ancient story for a particular ethnic group. These are formulations for human beings and how we can get back into a state of bliss on earth itself. Another context for you to look at is chapter 5 verses 27 to 32. The context is about the 2 children of Adam, and whatever happens to them, basically one of them made a mistake and he regrets his mistake, etc. But chapter 5 verse 32, right at the end, it says, Min ajli dhalika katabna ala bani Israil. So the translation says, because of that, or on the account of that, we wrote upon the children of Israel. Now let's ask the question, if Bani Adam, the 2 children of Adam, they are individuals unto themselves, why did Allah write this upon other people? Because in Quran, you bear your own burdens. You don't inherit the burdens or sins of another, you see. So why did Allah say that? Because the 2 children of Adam are archetypes for all of us. They are human archetypes for us. And the children of Israel are us because we inherited those tendencies. That's why. Because of that, Allah wrote upon Bani Israel. So, and finally, if we look at chapter 26, the early part of chapter 26, where Musa is liberating his people from Fir'aun, he says, "Send with me Bani Israel." And when Fir'aun sends his magicians, so-called magicians, to debate with Musa, and they lost, and they say, "We submit to the Lord of Musa and Harun," Musa doesn't say to them, "Well, I'm sorry, this God is only for us, and you cannot be with us." Musa doesn't say that. So these people were accepted as Bani Israel. And you see, this is the point we have to make here. Islam is never a racialist type religion. It is always for humanity. These concepts have been misconstrued. But I think if you read Quran, you will see that it is simply not the case. So many thanks for your viewership. I hope you can give these issues some thought. And inshallah, we will see each other again tomorrow.